cupboard requirements.
It's time for Nico Kleynhans, exclusively on Breakfast with Friends.
Nico is not just a good friend to CCFM, but he is also somebody who is honest. And I think today is going to be one of those honest conversations. Overcoming fear, procrastination, and perfectionism. Nico, thank you so much for joining us in studio this morning.
Thank you. We have, I think it's 9 cats at home. I need to have a census because if we put whiskers in our food bowl, then I know neighborhood cats pop in for a meal.
Of course.
And our dogs are very cat friendly. They're not going to mind at all. But yesterday, a technician came to our home to install the new computer-linked printers.
Okay.
And as he rang the doorbell, he froze. And I watched an adult male in a split second become a terrified human being.
Sure.
And it was because a cat came to say hi.
Oh, wow.
And then I realized that he'd suffered real trauma somewhere in his life. And that trauma was triggered by a cat. And as he saw that cat, he regressed back to that point in his life where there was danger. And our little pussycat was going to be the cause of that danger. And I began to think, well, what is it that limits a normal human being? What behavior patterns do we display? And when are those behavior patterns triggered? And I thought in any 1 year, we get probably about 1,000 emails from listeners who talk about their fears and talk about their behaviors. And they do so because it's an anonymous thing they can do. So they know they're not going to be outed. I'm not going to name who they are, but I'm going to understand something of what they're trying to tell me. And many admit that they have procrastination as a problem. They know there will be consequences to their actions, but somehow they cannot get started on a task. They know the task has to be done, and they know the longer they wait, the more difficult it's going to be. And I've often wondered what makes a person delay, especially if there are going to be severe consequences like having to retire, having to paint the roof, fixing the roof that's leaking. Why is it that you keep going? And common cause to me seems to be that people underestimate how long a task is going to take. And so they delay, and then they run out of time, so now they don't have to do it at all until the issue arises again. Or else they just underestimate the skill that they need. Or they can't get in the right frame of mind because they're overwhelmed by a lot of other things that happen in their lives. And then, of course, one gets the perfectionists. We can't admit we need help. And because we can't admit we need help, we'll rather fail than ask for help. Those amongst us as well. And then there are those who are focused on the outcome. And because we're focused on the outcome, we're overwhelmed by the size of the task that has to be done. And that's strange because I've yet to see somebody sit down, look at a plate of food and think, I'm never going to be able to eat this. We've learned that you start in one corner of the plate and you work your way around. So the principle you've already learned. If the task seems to be overwhelmed, break it down into steps. You've learned that as a child. That's how you eat a meal. Why is it that when the task seems so big, you suddenly don't remember? Break it down into steps.
Very good.
One gets there at the other end. And then we all realize that coaching can make a difference. I understand. We know that when it comes to a gym. And we know that when we get to that gym and the coach starts there, we're going to hate the person who's coaching us because they're going to push us and they're going to hold us to a particular task. But at the end of the day, because they are there and keeping us on target, we achieve what we need to achieve. So if you're having a task that you need to do, whether it's to get the house painted, get the roof leaked, or even something critical like planning your pension, you need to get help. You need to get the focus done and you need to start the task. And then you can achieve it. Nothing is impossible. There is plenty of help available, plenty of, even if you just use Google, break it down, bite-sized steps, and you can get there. Needn't be a disaster.
Yeah. It's like they say, when is the best time to start my financial planning, my retirement planning? And of course, the temptation is to say 5 years, 10 years ago, when you turn 20, Jonathan, you should have already started then. But I can't go back. I can't turn back. So the best time is now. And to start doing something, to be active in our decisions, and to realize that the future is coming whether we like it or not. Retirement is coming whether we like it or not. And let's live in that space. Let's be wise and make good decisions and get people that understand the process. Nico is a financial planner. He is a certified financial planner and very knowledgeable on the subject. So please connect with him if you have got questions. Questions at northwood.co.za is where you can email Nico. Questions at northwood.co.za. Mr. Nico, thank you so much for your time.
Sure, pleasure.